Welcome back to page 121. Today we're not going to talk about the Chamax plague. I'm bringing this out because my players are going to be on Avastan, planet in District 268 of the Spinward Marches, and nowhere near where the adventure of the Chamax plague or horde take place. But what they are going to meet is a Chamax. Chamax are basically xenomorphs from Alien. Very, very similar. And the adventure with these guys came out in 1981. So yes, they are kind of a lift of the existing Alien, the xenomorphs. But I'm going to put them in, and they're going to be part of my story. We're playing Traveler again this week. And this is the game my players have suggested, or had wanted to play, but I came up with an idea. In the last game we played, the players were taking out a pirate base that was on the surface of Avastan. They're trying to civilize the planet so they can make it grow and prosper financially. But when they go, they get information from the captured pirates that they took in the last game, they're going to find out that there's another base, but that base went quiet about 5 standard days ago. So the players will go investigate, and they're going to find Hadley's Hope, basically, the abandoned base, similar to what we find at the beginning of Alien 2. And what they're going to find is, out of Garden World's Referee's Briefing number 6, they're going to find Chamax. These guys are really cool. They are, like I said, they're xenomorph, but they are known as Chamax, destroyers of ecosystems. Basically, they're invasive species. They're very dangerous to travelers and to other creatures. And they will take over an area once they start breeding. Now, the players will have a few questions. Why is there a Chamax here? What the heck is it? What the heck can it do? How do we fight it? And are there more? And these are all questions that I'm going to hit them with. So we get a different look at the different stages of Chamax. There are 5 social stages. And we get the hunter, the first brood hunter, the flying hunter, the juvenile maternal, the Chamax maternal. So basically the alien queen. So we have hunters, and they all have different abilities. And my players, for the most part, are only going to meet hunters. They're not going to meet a whole nest, because I don't know if there's going to be a whole nest yet. I'm going to see how this plays, and this is one of those DM, GM, referee things where I have decided they're going to encounter several of these things, but I have decided that they're not going to necessarily find a nest. So this could be that the Chamax were brought here to be hunted for sport at some point years ago, and they went dormant when they had nothing really to do to develop the planet. Maybe there is a nest there. Maybe the nest is waking up, and the Chamax are going to be active on the planet. So what has happened in my story is, yes, that some Chamax have awakened. Primarily hunters at this point, and that's what my players are going to be dealing with. But as the story unfolds, I'm going to see how it plays. If it plays really well, and I think it will, because most of my players have seen and love Alien and all the various Alien movies, I think it's going to play well. And if that's the case, they are going to find a nest. If it's something that they prove to be interested in only that one night, which often happens, then I'm going to go ahead and just play it the one night. I often develop my campaigns as multiple night games, but I find out that they don't want to go in one direction or another for various reasons, and that's especially true in Traveler. So I'm going to leave myself a back door on this one, where I can basically just run it as a one-nighter. They fight some rogue Chamax, and we leave the question, are there others on the planet? Is Avastan a planet that you can actually settle? It's going to be an interesting call. For anybody who hasn't followed my channel for a while, Avastan is the home planet that my players have settled on in District 268 of the Spinward Marches, and they have kind of become kind of the de facto government. There is no real government on the planet, but they did defeat some underworld types that were kind of taking over and abusing the planet and the populace. So the players have taken it over, and I've become the lesser of two evils, And they're trying to make Avastan something better than it is. Avastan's UWP is terrible, and part of the campaign is that I'm running a side story where the UWP, when it was developed during the Second Imperial Survey, was actually fudged. We don't know why. We don't exactly know who, but it's been several hundred years. And I'm going to have it that there was a bit of a scandal at the time, and there were a couple other planets that had UWPs that made the planet look worse. And in Avastan's case, there's suspected that their rival Kalis had a hand in it a couple of hundred years ago, and is only now really being brought out. And when they dig into this, they're going to find there was a scandal at the time, but it involved other worlds. It never involved Avastan. So it's going to be interesting for the players to try to fix the UWP. But now they're going to have another problem, and that is that there may or may not be Chamax on the planet. The Avastan's UWP is not great. It's an arid world. It's got an axial tilt of, I think, like 86 degrees, which means it's almost on its side. It has very light gravity because it's a small planet. I'm going to change that a little bit as the UWP, and I'm going to make that some of the false report that was filed hundreds of years ago, that Avastan actually is a better planet than that. It's got a little heavier gravity, it's got more water, and the axial tilt is not as bad as everyone believes. Now, I realize that there have been thousands, if not millions, of people who've come and gone to Avastan, and maybe they believed the UWP that was filed with the Scout Service, and if that's the case, then they probably just stayed in the high orbital starport and then left, never went to the planet, never really explored. The people that did get to the planet realized that it's actually better than the UWP says, but it works to their advantage because it keeps other people away. They're settling what can one day be a garden world, and everybody else thinks it's this desolate, horrible place. So that's the background on Avastan in my campaign. I'm introducing the Chamax just to give my players something to worry about. So I'm pretty excited about this idea. This video will be airing the morning of the game. So if my players actually watch the video between that morning and our game time, they'll have a little insight. But it's not going to be a big spoiler because they're going to find out within the first half hour of the game what they're up against. And if my players don't watch it, I get a great na because they had it right there. They could have watched it if they didn't get around to it. Oh well. So that's really all I've got to say today. I just wanted to take a look at the Chamax itself. A Chamax Hunter has 12 hits. It moves 5 meters, so it's pretty fast. It's got an armor of 4. It bites for 3 dice, or it can spit acid, depending on the distance, for 3 dice, 2 dice, or 1 dice. So they're pretty tough. And they are eaters, so they are basically going to eat everything. So they're really a plague, just like they were depicted in the original adventure. And I'm going to keep that going. So that's the premise of my Chamax invasion of Avastan. And then my players have to make some decisions. Do they keep it quiet? Do they look for more? Do they reveal it? What do you do? So just some little moral conundrum in there for them as well. But that's all I've got to say today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave comments below, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends. Let me know any ideas you have for other Traveler videos. I've got a slate of them for right now, but I can always use new ideas. And that's it. Take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. But otherwise, that's it. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on page 121.